The new legendary Arcane melee Crescendo might not be as good as you might think. But why? So just in case you don't know, this new legendary Arcane is only available from Netra cells as a final reward, so it's very difficult to get, and it provides up to 6 initial combo for the rest of the mission for every finisher kill you do, allowing you to relatively easily build up to 220 combo hits, making you sit at 12 times combo. Now, one cool thing about this Arcane is that it doesn't necessarily get better as you rank it up, it just becomes more convenient, it becomes faster to stack it up. So you would think this Arcane would be amazing for every melee weapon, except it's not. It's actually not very good for heavy attack builds, it's much better at sustaining your combo with light attack or Tennokai builds. Now that might sound strange, because light attack and Tennokai builds build their own combo, whereas pure heavy attack builds generally don't. So how is this not amazing for heavy attack builds? Because heavy attacks benefit tremendously from the combo counter. If you do a heavy attack at 12 times combo, your heavy attack is gonna get a 12x multiplier. Well, it all has to do with how initial combo actually works. You see, when you stack this Arcane all the way up to 220 combo hits, you are not at 12 times combo. You will regenerate up to 12 times combo. And this creates a problem that you may have encountered before actually if you own the Incarnon Ceramic Dagger. The initial combo regeneration is pretty slow. It only generates 40 hits per second, which means that if you do a heavy attack at 12 times combo, it takes 5.5 seconds for the combo to regenerate. And 5.5 seconds in Warframe is a long time, which is why a lot of builds on the Incarnon Ceramic Dagger that focus on the initial combo run heavy attack efficiency, because it allows them to not consume the entire combo, so it doesn't take as long to regenerate. Now, this doesn't mean the Arcane is bad and you shouldn't run it, it just means that it's not as wildly applicable as some people would make it seem. I mean, you can see it for yourself. In this clip, I've stacked the Arcane all the way up to 220 combo hits, so I should have 12 times combo. But most of my heavy attacks are done at 3 times combo. This is what happens when you just slap the Arcane on and you don't think about it at all. You will waste a lot of potential. So you should think about it a little bit before you go out and buy the Arcane for an obscene amount of platinum. Because at the time of recording, the cheapest Crescendo I could find was 100 platinum. That is not worth it unless you're 100% sure you know what you're doing and you can utilize it properly. If, for example, you're going to be using this on a pure heavy attack build, you need to think about how often you're going to be doing heavy attacks, because the more often you attack, the more efficiency you need for the combo to regenerate back up in between attacks. And even that doesn't mitigate the problem completely, it just helps unless you cap it out at 90%, at which point you might be able to continuously do 12x heavy attacks. But that leads to another problem. Is it actually worth it? If you invest this much into heavy attack efficiency, is it actually better than just sitting at 2 times combo with corrupt charge, not using the combo counter at all, or just doing a Tennokai setup instead? So please, don't be fooled by the "Oh my god, this Arcane's so broken bruh" videos with red numbers in the thumbnails, because yeah, it's not as black and white as it might seem. It looks great in the right scenario with the right setup, but it might not necessarily translate very well into the normal game. It even depends on the type of mission you're going to be doing, like non-endless missions are out right away because the setup is simply too long for those. But even in endless missions, it's going to vary. Like in survival, you need to kill stuff all the time or you're going to run out of life support, so it's not going to perform all that well there. Whereas in disruption, where you only really need to kill a handful of enemies, it's gonna be much better. So yeah, definitely not the go-to Arcane for everything. I would even argue that it's not the go-to Arcane for most weapons. I, for example, very much favor using Tennokai for big heavy attacks rather than Crescendo. The only time I would consider using Crescendo on a heavy attack build is with a weapon with which I do not intend to attack very frequently, so I don't have to build into heavy attack efficiency. So a weapon that I would use for, let's just say, demolishers in disruption. So in my eyes, this Arcane is actually at its best when you're using it to sustain combo on light attack and Tennokai builds, because it allows you to not run Naramon, not use combo mod, and not run dexterity. But even then, you still have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Because most light attack and Tennokai builds build combo pretty fast, so it's not that big of a deal if you lose it every now and then. Especially in Steel Path, where the enemy density is quite high. But still, it's really nice to have because it's awesome to not have to worry about combo at all and have the freedom to choose whatever focus school you want. And again, I want to reiterate, it's not bad for heavy attack builds. You will most likely see a damage increase if you put it on your heavy attack build and you stack it up. But depending on the situation you're in and the weapon setup you're using, the damage increase might not be anywhere near as big as you thought it would be. So please don't slap this onto every melee weapon you have and expect it to magically do 12x heavies all the time. That's not how it works. And that's pretty much it for the video, so I thank you very much for watching. As always guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video and found it helpful, and if there is anything else you would like to add to this, feel free to leave a comment down below. Then I would also like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members. Thank you very much guys, I really appreciate your support, and if you would like to become a channel member as well, by the way, you can check out the memberships and stuff down below. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.